Hello everyone. So today's topic is the activity diagram, that is activity on arrow diagram. And last PPT or the video I already covered what is meant by the activity on node. Today I am going to cover how to draw the activity on arrow diagram with the same example. So I already told you the difference, what is meant by the activity on node and the activity on arrow. So now today I am going to show you how to draw the activity on the node diagram, sorry, arrow diagram based on the predecessor table. Now this I already explained in our last video. That is what is meant by the activity, predecessor, times. So these are nothing but the different types of the activities and the tasks. This is the predecessors. That is dependency. It is showing the dependency that which activity is going to depend on which task. So then the duration to complete that particular task. So now I will start with how to draw the activity on the arrow diagram. Now in this case, here the activities are mentioned, immediate processors and the predecessors and the times. Now these are nothing but the different types of nodes. Now activity on arrow, as activity on node, we consider the activity name inside the node. That means inside this circle, we draw the activity name, that is activity A, B, C, D. That's why that is called as the activity on node. But now here we are going to draw the activity name on the arrow. That's why here consider the activity on arrow. Now here you are going to consider the activity name on the arrow. So that's why this inside the circle you need to write down the numbers. So suppose this is my number 1. So this is called as the node 1 and this is considered as my the start point. Okay, now next is nothing but first I am going to consider the activity A, as activity A is not going to depend on anything. So in this case I am going to consider this is activity A and here is nothing but the activity name, that is the activity A. Then second node is considered as a 2. Inside the circle you need to write down the 2. Now in this case 2. Then next is your B is depend on A and the C is depend on also A. So this is nothing but the activity on arrow. The name of that activity is nothing but the B. Now here your B is depend on A. So this is, that's why your B is depend on A. And another is nothing but the C is depend on A. So here the C is depend on A. So that's why here called as the activity on arrow. Here we mention the activity name on the arrows rather than inside the node. If you are going to mention inside the node, that is called as the activity on node. Now next is nothing but the D is depend on B. So here is the D is depend on, suppose this is the D. Now this is D. Here you can give the main activity name as the 3 and the 4. Every time must follow the sequence, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8 like that. Don't give the random number. It will help you for calculating the days properly. So here the D is going to depend on B. That's why here mentioned D is depend on B. So there is continuation will be shown. Then B is depend on E. Sorry, E is depend on B. So again here is the E. So this is your E. So this E is depend on B. Then C, F is depend on C. Now here is my C. So I am here going to write down the F. Okay, student listen here. Now in this case I already draw the nodes. Okay, but जब आप लोग करोगे, in that case how you are going to consider, you are going to draw the node one by one. Okay, in next video I will show that also how to draw the node one by one. So it is easy to you to consider for how many types of node you should be assigned here. Okay, now here the F is depend on C. Then next is nothing but this is the D. Now next E and F is depend on G. So this is my E and F. So combinedly, if it may happen, ऐसे हो सकता है कि आप लोग E जो है वो यहाँ पे कंसिडर करो, एक यहाँ पे नोड निकालो like this, and then यहाँ पे एक आपका E आ रहा है, ओके अगर आपने ये ड्रॉ नहीं किया, और यहाँ पे आपका F आ रहा है, तो ये दोनों अलग नोड हो गए, ठीक है। लेकिन जब आपको लगेगा कि E एंड F जो है कंबाइन करके आपको G पे डिपेंडेंसी दिखानी है, G की डिपेंडेंसी E एंड F पे दिखानी है, then in that case how you are going to do, you are going to erase this particular section and consider that E and F आप एक ही नोड पे ले आ सकते हो, ओके। सो दिस इज द वन पार्ट। Now next is the H is depend on G, D. So here is the H. Now next G, then E and F रह गया. E and F is depend on G. So this is E and F, and the last is nothing but your I. That is I is depend on your G and H. Now 3, 4. This is considered as your node 5. This is 6. This is 7, and this is 8, and this is considered as your last node, that is the end point. Okay, so this is considered as your end point. Suppose so this is your end. Now this is your considered as your start node, and this is the end node. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 8. So this is considered as your path 1. Then 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. This is another part. And 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. This is considered your third part. So in activity on node also, if you see that video, in that case also there are 3 paths are generated, and here also the 3 paths are generated. Now based on this we are going to calculate the critical path. This is the neat and clean structure of that same diagram from the previous slide. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5. So these all considered as your nodes. Activity on arrow diagram has your mention the activity name on the arrow, and here below, that is the 5 to 4. Then this is nothing but the duration of that particular activity. Now here also you are going to calculate, we are going to calculate the critical path or the longest duration path based on the time duration of that particular task and the activity. Let's see how we are going to calculate. The procedure is the same, that is we are going to add the value based on the path. So you already know that based on the activity on the arrow, activity on the node video, that is you are going to calculate the path duration and the longest duration. Now next is how to draw the critical path, that is calculate the critical path or the longest path. Now here I already given the activity diagrams, activity diagram with the activity or name on the arrow and the duration of that particular activity. Now here instead of A, B, G, I am going to calculate the critical path based on the arrow, that is 1 to node, that is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, and the 7 to 8. So those values you are mentioned inside the circle, only that values are going to be considered. Now here, that is 1 to 2. Suppose I am going to calculate this, that is the 5. The path is nothing but the 5. Then plus, directly I will calculate, that is a 5 plus 2, that is 7, 7 plus 5, 12, 12 plus 3 is 15, and 15 plus 5 is nothing but the 20. So the answer here is 20. Okay. Now next path is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, that is this one, that is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 7, and 7 to 8. So this is considered as your another path, and here the value is that is 5 plus 2 7, 7 plus 5 12, 12 plus 2 14, 14 plus 5 19. So here the value is 19. Here also you can draw, write the path like 1 dash 2 dash 3 dash 5 dash 6 dash 7 dash 8. Now next is the another path. The another path is nothing but the 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 7 and 7 to 8. So this is considered as your another part, that is 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2 plus 21, and here the answer is 21. So longest path is here also 21. If you compare your diagram, this diagram with the activity on node, also this critical path and this critical path or longest path value with that particular activity on node diagram. So all the values are the same, and there also your longest path is this one, that is the last one, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. But we write down in this format, that is ACFGI in the activity on node. But in activity on arrow, you have to mention the numbers, and that there also your longest duration path is 21, and the here also your longest duration path is 21. So in this way, you are going to calculate the activity on the based on activity on arrow and activity on the node diagram, the critical path and the longest path. Now for calculating this critical path, there are the another two methods also, that is based on the forward pass and the backward pass. And in that case also you can draw the activity on arrow diagram, activity on the node diagram, and also based on the free float and the total float. That video I will show in the next time. Thank you.